Good morning. Today I'll be showing a productive study day routine in my life. I'm filming this because it's something I would have liked to have known before I sat my final HSC exams and received my ATAR, which is part of the Australian high school system. I was always wondering, how much do I really need to study to get a high 90s ATAR? Am I studying enough? Am I as productive as other people? Can I have a healthy relationship with my phone if I'm trying to be productive? So hopefully this can answer some of those questions. I'm also filming this now because I'm doing university from home in quarantine, and my daily routine looks very similar when I'm trying to be really productive to how it did when it was before my HSC and I had those 3 weeks off to study. Luckily now I'm a lot less stressed and I'm studying more things that I love, like journalism and filmmaking. Also remember that there are many ways to have a productive day, and this day is kind of idealized, on top of the fact I am normally a very disciplined person, to the point which my family and friends find it quite funny, borderline concerning. So just use this as a bit of inspiration. Good morning. So I like to wake up around 8. Not too early so I get lots of sleep, and not too late. Then I make my bed. I check the notifications on my phone just to check nothing urgently needs my attention, but I did not open anything. Then I put on a news podcast. I know this is nerdy, but I am a media journalist student, so I need to keep up to date. And also, it means I don't have an excuse to get caught up on sites like SMH or ABC during the day. I freshen up a bit and I get ready for a run. You may be thinking, well, I'm not doing that run, but during the time I was studying for my final exams, I would literally just run for 2 kilometers and do a set of stairs, the big ones in Coogee if you know them. It was under 15 minutes and it made me feel like mentally and physically sharp. Now I'm in quarantine and I have a bit more time, so I do a longer run. I walk the last little bit and reply to any messages sent to me, but I don't scroll randomly because I try to keep the dopamine low. And if you haven't seen my dopamine video, I'll link here to why I do this. Okay, so I get back and I have some water and do some meal prep for the day. So I just make a salad for breakfast and get some ingredients together for lunch. Then I shower and get ready for the day. I make myself a bit presentable for my own motivation. During the time when I was studying for my final exams, I really didn't wear makeup. I'm putting a little bit on today just because I have a Zoom tutorial in the afternoon and, you know, I'm filming this video, so. And now I'm ready for the day. I get started with some work around 9:30. I work off a to-do list on my OneNote that I like to make the night before. Here I'm working on my laptop, but before my final exams, I had a laptop or a textbook in front of me and I was working off a binder. I like to start with the hardest or most mechanical task. I do this while my dopamine levels are low. So before the HSC, this meant doing maths or the language I was studying, which was modern Greek. In university, I do whatever because I find most of it fun, though I might start with like a content-heavy reading. I eat a big breakfast around 10:30. I like to sit on my balcony, relax, do some mindful eating, maybe answer a few messages, but again, not any scrolling. Often my grandpa will get a coffee and sit by me. Then I do one subject for about 1.5 hours. I'll take a break, then I do another subject for another hour, something like that. Before my final exams, I would do something kind of creatively draining in this time, like write a new essay or a short story or some work for a humanities subject. Then I do a bit of an at-home workout, just like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. This really refreshes me and it's not like I'm doing any incidental exercise like you would if you were walking around school or at a uni campus. Then I get lunch ready. Today I made like a simple pasta with a bunch of veggies for myself and my grandpa. So my grandpa will often sit with me. He likes to do weird food combinations. Yeah, so he's having grapes. I finish lunch around 2:30. I do another 2.5 hours of work. Before my final high school exams, I would usually do a practice exam in this time. Today I had a lot of academic readings to do, so I just was continuing that, and I did a bit of video editing for an assessment. Then I did another little at-home workout around 5. I know some people might be thinking, this is the third time she's working out today, but remember, the run was like 20 minutes and both of these workouts that I'm doing are under 20. After this, when it was before my exams, I would often mark and improve whatever practice paper I had done. Today, I answered a few personal emails and some work emails. Then I make dinner. Very weird dinner, I know. I just have a sweet tooth in the night, so I like to eat like this when I'm at home. And it gives me a burst of good sugar energy, which is fine because I like to eat earlier when I'm at home. Again, I do not eat fruit and porridge when I'm out with my friends. It's just like something I do at home. I try to eat dinner mindfully, maybe doing a few little messages or listening to something, but not watching anything. Then I go on my phone for a bit, and around this time I might call some friends or something. Around 7 I do a bit more work, something lighter like listening to a lecture, then working on a personal project, and I usually do this texting people a bit throughout. At about 8 I say goodnight to my grandpa and I head to my room. When I get to my room, no really hard work happens. It's mostly logistical things like looking after something I need to buy or fix or booking an appointment or something. Then I do something just for fun and out of interest. So tonight I tried to learn how to put false eyelashes on. I don't know, I just like a random challenge. I found a YouTube video and I was like, I'm gonna try this. But other nights I might try another makeup technique for fun, or maybe binge watch some skincare with Hiram, I love that guy, or watch some cooking videos to inspire me to make something. Stuff like that. In this time, I think you can do any high dopamine activity you might like. Then at around 10, I make my to-do list for tomorrow so I don't get caught up thinking about it when I try to sleep. After I finish that to-do list and I'm getting ready for bed, I like to put on an audiobook. Right now I'm listening to Stephen Hawking's A Brief History of Time, which really makes me and my problems feel very insignificant in the scheme of the universe and his massive intelligence. But sometimes I put on music. While I'm doing this, I get ready for bed. Then I stretch. I do the same 5-minute stretch routine before I go to bed every night. I've literally been doing it since I was 10. Okay, so now I turn Mr. Hawking off and pajamas. Then I read. I'm reading The Lord of the Rings right now. A bit random. It's really well written and I love the characters, but it's not a page turner, so it helps me feel a bit sleepy. Then, if I feel like my mind is still running really fast, like it usually is, I find a guided meditation on YouTube, like this one, and I just set it off and get to bed. So that was my productive study day routine, kind of based around what I was doing before my final HSC exams in high school, even though today was just a productive study day doing uni from quarantine at home. I hope this helped you, or maybe gave you some ideas, or just motivated you. So yeah, thanks.